In your early influences in terms of music, I've heard you talk about Led Zeppelin before, and the other obvious one is Eddie Van Halen and Van Halen. And you guys struck up a great friendship, didn't you, right from the 70s?
Right from the get-go. I mean, uh, in San Diego, there's not, we were a big band down there, but my friends in LA, where I came from, I was transplanted to San Diego and got into music. I still went up to LA, and my friends would say around 70, couple friends of mine, one in particular, kept going, "You got to see this band. They're called Van Halen. I know you're playing guitar and stuff. They're a great band, and they're going to insane. They're playing Gazaris, right?" And with the Doors, Van Halen, and RATT started, and I missed them. And then he said, "Okay, they're playing at the Whiskey," and this was 1978, just right before the record came out, a little bit before, and I went there by myself, met Dave by asking him if he wanted to smoke a joint backstage. I got in, I went right to Ed, and we had a friendship, and we'd buy trade equipment and talk and hang, and I'd bring my friends up to his house, and we became friends ever since, I mean, until, his untimely passing, but yeah, we were great friends, And RATT only did one show with Van Halen, which was
Really?
crazy. At least we only did one, and it was a great one, a festival. Yeah.
And what was it like
Yeah.
watching Van Halen back in the early days then?
Insane. Because I'd go back to San Diego and tell my friends, there is this band up there that is going to be the shit. I mean, look, I've seen Zeppelin a few times, and these guys are going to be the shit. They're like Zeppelin. They're crazy. This guitar player, I know him. I met him. And they'd be like, "Yeah, sure, right, yeah." And sure enough, the record comes out. Boom. And even better than that, they play the San Diego Sports Arena. They chop it in half or moved it up a quarter ways, and Van Halen played. And Ed calls me up. He goes, "We're going to San Diego. We're doing the arena." I don't have enough gear, right? So I get on the phone. I'm calling all my friends. "My buddy's up here. He needs some equipment. Get your asses down to the sports arena. Bring any cab you got, preferably oranges or Marshalls." And we did. So, and then the world became Big Rock Van Halen. It was, wow, there it is. But back then they played for keeps. And I learned a lot from them. You get out there, you play for keeps, have a good time, but play for keeps, Hey, you're not perfect every night, but if you're having a good time, it's all that matters.
Absolutely. And now that Sunset Strip, it's famous to even us in the UK, as I said, and you think of the names of like the Whiskey and the Rainbow, it was riotous, it was crazy, and there'll never be another
Sure.
Sunset Strip of the 80s ever again, will there?
Ever. And it's a drag, but that's just the way it is. It was like the 60s and the Doors, right? The Doors, 60s, Whiskey. That's all relevant. It's crazy. Van Halen played the Whiskey. I got an original poster in my office where I'm at, my studio right here.
Wow.
And Alice Cooper's opening up for him. Yeah, something like that, I think. Where is that poster? It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Look at that thing. Yeah, I don't know where it is, but it's crazy. And I mean, look, everybody's played there. Priest, Zeppelin, I mean, you name it. And to play there, it just has that feel like, Morrison puked over there, Janis was doing this over there, so Hendrix was hanging over here, Neil Diamond was even hanging out over here,